Speaking of ashen heaps of bio waste, New York on this website
That's a good one.
is
Segue of
ranked.
the year so far.
Yeah, I mean it's ranked as this is stupid. Los Angeles is not a top five sports town in the country. If you were to say what the three best sports towns in the country are, what would you say? Because I feel like there's a I still would include New York in there just because of the media surrounding
I
sports
could
being so prominent, but clearly to me, Philly and Boston are in the top three.
Yeah, I understand Philly not. I mean, excuse me. I understand LA not for LA's so massive that there are certain teams you can point to where you're like that's just like not like relevant necessarily.
No one, they don't care about anything except the Lakers and the Dodgers.
But I will
You
say,
have to care about three teams.
yeah, that's but I think but I think the Dodgers, the Lakers, I mean I guess the Clippers now too, and USC I would say are like four pretty prominent and notable and kind of iconic team slash fan bases.
I guess I don't count the college teams in my mind because
Oh no, I understand.
because a college team is inherently regional. Like
Yes, definitely, yeah.
well, I guess so are sports teams, but or
Well,
professional
but
teams, they
I
can
wouldn't say.
leave and yeah.
But I don't know. But I think I wouldn't necessarily say that all sports teams are inherently regional because, for example, there are so many transplant or non-native Lakers fans, for example, or
Right.
Yankee fans, or Steelers fans,
Yeah.
or Cowboys fans, because especially when a lot of people were growing up, you like the Broncos because of John Elway. You like the Steelers because of Jerome Bettis. Like,
And
you
also
like the
you
Cowboys
didn't-
because of
you-
Emmitt Smith. Like
If you were not like in an area with a good team, there was always
Yeah.
one team that was on national
that
broadcast
you could watch
that you
instead
could
of
watch
like
anywhere, right?
the Jets in the '90s. But
So I mean, I guess I would. I think
Boston, Philly,
Boston,
New York
Philly
makes
are-
sense to me.
But
also.
Boston, Philly, it's 100% in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree. And they've also and also in terms of team quality too, across the board.
Boston's
Celtics,
number one.
Patriots,
The
Bruins.
Celtics are a top two NBA franchise of all time in like every category, if not the best. I mean, I still think the Lakers, but
Oh yeah, but I mean throughout history, I mean Bill Russell, Larry Bird,
Yes,
like,
yes.
the '08 KG teams, like these teams now, like it's
they have the metal to back it up. Then you have the Bruins, who have been really good for a long time, have a lot of Stanley Cups as
oh yeah,
well.
they're still pretty good.
Then
honestly.
you have the Red Sox.
Yep.
Obviously, they had that nearly century-long drought, but they are always relevant, and they've won the
but
World
like
Series multiple times.
but like the exorcism of that, I think almost leads to like the
Right,
mythology
and the
around
fervor,
town, too.
and then wait, so then and then the Patriots, of course.
Yeah, and then the Patriots, exactly.
Yeah, who are only tied with the Steelers for those are the teams that have each won 6
Right.
Super Bowls. So,
And New York, it's less about quality of team. I think it's more about level of psychosis per fan base.
yeah, and that's driven by a media market that is so over the top
Oh,
here in New
totally,
York,
yeah.
and it's more that way than
And
in
it's part of
Boston, more in LA.
Totally.
Like that's why I would put them at the 3 spot. Philly, it's just like when you have all four in the mix constantly, and I know the Flyers, maybe that's not the case, but with the Eagles being so fun and the Phillies, of course,
And them with also a kind of mythological Super Bowl run,
Yeah.
with beating Tom Brady with a backup quarterback, like
yeah,
and the Sixers, and even again, like it's like
And the
sometimes-
Sixers.
and the Sixers is also like not sometimes it's not even as much like of course they had Chuck at some point, they had Charles Barkley, but I mean this team like the whole process like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid,
but even
it's
like an
creates
iconic,
a lot of
iconic Allen,
narratives.
the
No, AI, of
iconic
course,
AI
yeah.
image of him,
Absolutely.
stepping over, like
stepping over Tyronn Lue.
yeah. I guess that's so funny too. But Philly, I think, is in the top 3, and then New York. But you want to include some. I think about places like Pittsburgh, but the fact that they don't have an NBA team, I think, really hurts
Right.
them.
And the Bay Area recently obviously has been pretty vibrant. I would say it's come on strong recently because like for a while pre Shanahan the Niners were struggling. The Warriors they had fun teams like the Baron Davis Warriors, like those teams, but nothing like Steph's teams.
And the based on just wins, see, this is why wins are not the only category that we're making this determination on, and we've gone on such a tangent here, but I do think it's interesting because Tampa Bay should be
Right.
a top
Lightning and Bucks. Like
five
literally
sports team.
a hockey dynasty and
And
the
the
most
Rays are
recent.
fun. I mean, they
Oh,
don't,
of course. Yeah, they've always been good. They've been good for the last 10 years.
I know, and somehow
on a
like
shoestring budget.
right every time they just totally have such an eye for talent there. So that odd. And I guess you could put Chicago up there as well
Oh yeah, I would
because of the Cubs mostly
and the Bulls in the 90s.
oh wait,
guess.
and the Bulls, yeah.
Chicago, I think would be I would say that Chicago would probably grapple with New York in terms of that spot,
that third spot,
because of the Blackhawks success, the Bulls success,
yes.
the Cubs,
yes,
and I mean the White Sox won in 05,
maybe
but they're
Chicago
just not as
should edge out Philly. That can't be. No.
Yeah, I think it would probably be. I would say Boston, Philly, Chicago. If we were to do if we were to do three, if we were to take out one,
you were going to take. You were going to take.
I would take out New York over Chicago. I would take out New York for Chicago. Mostly because
New York,
honestly.
New York has the Yankees. New York has
I know,
the
but
Knicks,
that's the thing,
which
though.
is like, despite them not having success, is an obsessive fan base.
Oh yeah, and the
Giants,
celebrities and the pomp and circumstance surrounding a lot of these teams is as much, I think, a part of the argument as anything else.
Because then Chicago. Is there anything more iconic than Michael Jordan?
That's the thing, though. Like that, yeah, and talking about another exercising of demons is the Cubs too. Obviously,
right, right.
So it's tough. That's the third spot.
I think I take
tough.
Philly out. Seriously.
Yeah, I could see that too. I would definitely. Boston to me is the immovable one. Like
yes, Boston's number one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
obnoxious as hell, but that's
for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, that was a fun exercise.
Glad we hashed that out.
Yeah, I love little like rankings like that. It's how I categorize my mind.
It's the Bill Simmons in me.